variety. A little bit tired today, but hopefully after warming up, I'll be good to go. So let's get warmed up and then I'll go through all the details of what we're doing. Okay. Jumping on the spot first, nice and move. Just stretch. So, we are on the wheel, part 2. You've done all the wheel workouts before. We have 3 little wheel circuits to do. And then we've got an out focus finisher. But there's a lot of focus on core and core function today. So you'll need a kettlebell. So each of our 3 circuits you have a hub exercise which works as an active rest. You're working but it's not too intense and it allows some recovery. Then you have 4 spoke exercises that are much more intense. Okay, so you do your hub exercise, spoke 1, hub exercise, spoke 2, hub exercise, spoke 3, hub exercise, spoke 4, and round again. So you're working intense, low intense, high intense, low intense. The low intensity stays the same, the high intensity ones change. You've got 4 different ones, okay? Don't worry if that's gone over your head, doesn't matter because you're following me anyway, so it doesn't matter, okay? Just have your kettlebell ready on a mat or a soft surface. So, here's your first one. Right, semi-circle mountain climbers. Depending on how much room you've got around you, that's your active rest, that's your low intensity hub exercise onto the circuit 1. So you're in mountain climbers, but you're just going to go in a little semi-circle, okay? Go as far around as you can as the room allows, okay? So in here you might not get quite all the way around, just a little bit of movement side to side. Hands stay where they are, and you're just moving left to right, okay? Right, so that's your hub exercise. That's the one we start with and return to after each of the following. Right, exercises, spoke exercises 1 and 2. We're going to be doing a half windmill for a press. So you're doing a half kneeling stance. Okay, half kneeling stance, 1 knee on the ground, 1 foot on the ground. Okay, make sure your hips are open. You don't want to be all weak and stuff like this. Okay, so hips open, glutes tight. Okay, and then rock that kettlebell in the side that the foot's on the floor with, okay? Because you need the room to go down as the windmills. Then you're going to shoulder press it, and then down, just touch the floor. See my shoulder rotates a little bit to compensate the back. Okay, touch the floor, back. Okay, if you want to take it further, elbow down. Okay, elbow down. Okay, that's if you've got even more mobility. So from the side, you should look like this. You press. See that? So there's a little bit of core rotation in there. And the second exercise is the same, but to the side. So press, touch down. So start with your fingertips, so when you're comfortable with that, then you're going lower into elbow if you can or want to. Right, so that's your first 2. Your third one is a goblet pull squat. You're going to hit the legs. Okay, so you're in your goblet squat. You're down, hold, 2, 3, up, down, hold. Okay, so you pause at the bottom for about 3 seconds. Okay, you can count yourself, that's fine. But there is always a tendency that you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, and back up. Okay, if you don't want that, you need a 1, 2, 3, back. So if you do it with me, and you know you should do, get a good pause. Right, last one, hollow body hold. Again, very much a core staple there. Okay, good one in. Okay, just hold, hollow body hold. Okay, like that. Legs off the floor, back 6 inches, squeeze the abs, lift the head and shoulders. You put your arms where you like. Okay, just hold there. Pull your belly up into the ground. Squeeze your glutes. Okay, that's the key. Okay, so there's your 4 exercises. Right, let's do it. The switch between those semi-circle mountain climbers and each exercise is quick. It's just 6 seconds. Okay, so really quick changes. Right, okay, ready? Right, semi-circle mountain climbers here. Tell me why I want your poison. Tell me why I can't avoid it. Everybody makes their choices. Everybody's led by voices. I don't wanna fight, it's pointless. Like an outwarded noises. I could replace you, but I will chase you through all the disappointments. Tell me why I want your poison. Tell me why I can't avoid it. Everybody makes their choices. Everybody's led by voices. I don't wanna fight, it's pointless. Like an outwarded noises. I could replace you, but I will chase you through all the disappointments. Everything you have comes out because I can feel the secrets in your touch. But I'm okay with pieces of your love. Everything you have comes out because I can feel the secrets in your touch. But I'm okay with pieces of your love. Choices. Everybody's led by voices. I don't wanna fight, it's pointless. Like an outwarded noises. I could replace you, but I will chase you through all the disappointments. Come on, nearly there! between. Right, your next one then. Plank up to 4 mini hops. So you can use your mat for this one, or at home doesn't matter. Just imagine you've got about 1.5 foot distance underneath. So plank up, so here, up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, back to centre, back down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to centre, back down. Okay? So plank up to 4 pro mini hops. Exercise 1 and 2 is, you've got choices here. Snatch is more difficult. If not, clean and press. So we've mastered the snatch. Okay, the time in the class isn't the time to practice the snatch. You need to really go. There's so many YouTube videos how to do a snatch, so I won't waste my time giving a massive demo. But look, the turnover is through the hips. Okay, thumb side with the handle, not in the middle. Okay, thumb goes in and you just turn over about there and just follow it up. Okay, the biggest mistake is doing that with a straight arm and then expecting it just to go and not doing it. That's not what's happening. It looks like it visually because of the speed of it, but in slow motion it's hard to do. It's more like that, look. It's that really. Hard to do slow motion, that's what it is. Anyway, you want to do that, clean and press, which is hard enough anyway. Same start, but you go into a row and a roll. Yeah, so you're rowing it in, simultaneously roll round, finishing this position, and then press. Okay, 5 of them are fine. Side 1, side 2. Then we have protein pulse, one for the back muscle, all that posture. It's a great exercise, very good for rehabilitation, shoulder, and equalising the back and front. Most people are much too dominant across the front. This is a good equaliser, correcting exercise. So make that cross shape. Okay, lift your chest up, you're just going to squeeze. Okay, squeeze the shoulder blades as hard as you can. Keep that T position. Your body will be tempted to do this. You'll want to engage the stronger lats. But don't forget on that one, upper back and back of the shoulders. Want to stay in that T position. Okay, then exercise 4 is your core exercise. Again, this time you're doing an X plank. Right, the lower the better. But obviously don't risk face planting. So do it to your level. So you're going to make like a very, very wide on the legs. And then as wide as you can on the arms, and get yourself down as low as you can. You can hold like nose to the floor. That's great. Great to see how low you can get without face planting. Again, the key is you've really got to squeeze the glutes. If you don't keep your glutes engaged, your lower back, you'll overextend. And it'll feel like that. And you'll drop. Okay, so glutes tight again is the key. Right, that's it then. Let's do it. Your hub exercise is plank up to the new girl. The what?
Where's the pink one gone?
Oh, I don't know. It's all at the top, the same weights. The same one, just got more of them. Right, okay. So, here we go then. Ready? 3. Lovely, right. T-Paul.
Living life on a merry-go-round. I was high, but now that I'm down. Tell me to a nigga when you're down, down, down. Taking away all my sorrow. Sleep, I got, and it's time to fall. Too far down a rabbit hole. Talk too much, I lost control. Wish me 'cause I'm too far gone. Too
Well done, what felt that, yeah. Really good. Right, okay, good. We've got a third wheel. So this time, your whole exercise, racks and rests, is 4 shoulder taps to a single squat thrust. So it's a little ratio of one again. So remember, a shoulder tap is an anti-rotation exercise. Okay, not a rotation. It will be like this then. 1, 2, 3, 4, in, out. Not this. Okay? You actually do the opposite of that. Trying to limit rotation to the absolute minimum. All it takes is to get your hand on the floor and maintain those level shoulders. Right, exercise 1. Single arm push press. This time there. Push back from there, that's it. Okay, a little push with the legs. And then number 2 is side 2. Exercise 3 is 4 split squats. And then switch, ideally with a plyo lunge. So split squat, split stance, on your train tracks, not like this. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the last one. I've got deck squat, dual plyo deadlift. So deck squat, grab your belt up, 1, 2, back down, up, 1, 2, okay? If you struggle with that, deck squats you've got to be very mobile. If you haven't got that mobility, just do your 2 little plyo regular deadlifts, and then a big rear lunge, back, 2, big rear lunge, okay? That's your alternative to doing a deck squat. If you haven't got that mobility. Okay, which is fine. Or if you're nearly there, just stick with it. Perhaps just do a half. Use your hand. Get off. 1, 2. Okay? I'll leave that one with you. Right. So this is our last combo now. Right, let's do it then. You ready? 4 shoulder taps to 1 squat thrust. Come on, last two in the yellow. Last two. very much core and core control, neural pathways. Doing a lot of switching movements, a lot of holding movements, and a lot of rotating movements. So, keeping the theme of holding, we're going to do some hold 10 abs. Now, these are great for your abs, because the main job of the abs is to restrict movement rather than create it. Of course, they do create it, but it's very, very limited. You know, more or less just spine, which doesn't move a lot. Its main job is to hold and limit and hold yourself fast, yeah? Now, that's what the main job is. That's why these are so good. So we're going to do 2 lots of hold 10s. We're going to do cycle crunch and then leg raise. 10 reps of each, and you're holding for 10 seconds on each one. So your cycle crunch is like this. For 10 seconds, really try and get the elbow as close to the side, yeah? So 10 seconds on each. Then we're going to do leg raise. So you're going to be holding 10 there. And then up. 3, 2, 1. Down. Hold 10. Up. Down, okay? So that's what you do. It does get tough. You can't do it. You have to stress on. And remember, you keep your core. Use your core. Pull your belly put into the ground. Right. Let's get started. Right, so the first one then, cycle crunch. Okay. Ready? you got me through that then. Well, that's good to be back. Feel awakened after that. 11-hour drive. Yeah, it's hell. In America, that makes no sense to whatsoever to go that little distance and take that long, but in England, it will. Right, back Monday then, with another top fitness and top mobility again. So hopefully see you for one of them or both. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new. Thanks again.